I think that they made me definitely feel passionate about learning. Um, and like I said, I think without Linden, I wouldn't have gotten the foundation that I needed to pursue higher education.
I'm Glenn Herbert, and I'm an editor with Our Kids. We're speaking with insiders from Canada's leading private schools to gain insights into their programs, culture, traditions, and leadership. This includes insights from parents, alumni, and administrators. This is the Our Kids Insider Perspective.
I think I would definitely say the help and care that the teachers really are able to provide for you. As I said, I really needed the extra help and support when I first attended Linden. I was really behind in comparison to my peers. So, in grade 6, my teacher Beth, every week after school, she would spend an hour with me and we would go through math and stuff that I was really struggling with. So since day one of being there, the teachers really went above and beyond to help me, gain my footing. And then their individualized attention really helped me to succeed and, I guess just achieve marks and stuff that I just learn and be able to excel in different classes that I don't think I would have necessarily if I was in a public school. So I definitely would say the individualized attention was the most important thing for me. I think where Linden is different is in their mission, which, you know, really does focus on giving girls a voice. So they really coach you and want you to speak up for yourself and speak up for things that you see in your community or that you see that are not good, or they want you to make a difference, and they want to train you to use your voice to make a difference as well. And I think that that's really where Linden is different from a lot of other private schools, because yeah, I think any other private school is giving a lot of individualized attention. I mean, I think that's probably the number one reason that people go to private schools. But what I don't necessarily think that other private schools are uh, doing is asking you to think critically about the world around you, and and ask you to use your voice to make a difference in that world. Oh, so okay. The first one was outgoing. I think I would say that because I think one of the big things about Linden that also makes them different is that because the school is so small and definitely smaller than a lot of the other private schools, um, there's definitely a big focus on building relationships outside of your own grade. So we have all school, and then that's once a week, and you're divided into these families, and each family contains a couple people from each grade, so once a week you're meeting and discussing and doing activities with people that are in grade 1 to grade 12, and you would be doing that every single week with the same people, so I would say outgoing, because not only are you asked to really step out of your comfort zone in terms of like people that you're interacting with, on a weekly basis or so, but also just because of what I said earlier about, them wanting you to use your voice. I think that means putting yourself in situations inside the Linden community or outside of it where maybe you're uncomfortable and you're saying, hey, I feel differently about this, and saying and being able to use your voice and explain why. So I think that's what I mean by, I guess, outgoing. And then intelligent, I really do think that the academics are quite good at Linden. So that's, and then my last one I said was current or up to date. And I think that's because, I really do think that there is a focus on I guess social justice and just like current events that are happening. And um I think that it's good to see the teachers discuss issues that are currently happening within their classrooms and within their lesson plans. I think it makes the students who graduate, and even just the students who are in the school, just more aware of the world around them and more equipped to, I guess, deal with different types of people that you may encounter in the world. I think I think a lot of the people that graduate from Linden are really outspoken, which is very cool to see. I think that, I know the there are people who are more passionate about different issues, but I do feel that across the board, like, everyone is interested in, or not even interested, but I just think that the people that graduate from Linden are not passive. I feel like they're active in terms of the way that they are participating in current events and in our world. Like, if something happens, if something happens and everybody's talking about it on social media, I know that the people who graduate from my school, I know that they're talking about it, and I know that you know, they're signing petitions and they're doing whatever is relevant with that particular issue. But I think that for the most part, the people that are graduating are pretty cognizant of the world around them, which is fairly interesting. And I mean, not everybody who's graduating from Linden is pursuing something in sciences. I know some people are, but not everybody. Um, but I know that there is a big focus on that, but again, not everybody is. But I think that everybody who does graduate is passionate, and I think, yeah, I think that Linden inspires students to be very passionate about whatever they are interested in their education. I don't know. I think that Linden, really tries to accomplish a lot of things. I think that want they do try to instill the importance of, women in STEM uh, fields. I think that that's one of their main focuses. I think they do, you know, obviously not everybody's going to be interested in science, and that's okay. But I think that they do try hard to make it seem appealing to their students, because I think that's good. I think that it's good that they're really trying to express the importance of having more girls um, in science, but also even just, I guess, thinking more critically about what careers they can see themselves in. So maybe it's not science, but it's just another field that's historically dominated by men. I think that Linden really wants their students to try and think critically and think about pushing the boundaries on that. I also think, as I've kind of said before, Linden does really, at least from when I was there, I do feel like a big aspect of it is that they want their students to be well-rounded, and I think they want their students to kind of try everything. So, for example, like, all of our teams, and this is partially because our school is very small, but if you want to play on a team, you're on the team. As long as you show up to practice, you'll play in the game. Like, they'll make sure that everybody gets play time at our games and stuff like that. So I think that's really, I really, really like that about Linden, where you don't you don't have to feel like you have to be the best to be able to do something. You can just show up and try your best, and that is more than good enough for all of the teams and stuff, which is really nice. Um, I think it's probably surprising to see, or it's probably surprising how much the teachers care, because they really, really do care. And you know, I they really will go out of their way for you in whatever way that they can. And I think that a lot of um students and parents don't really realize that how much the teachers care, because I don't think that people are really used to having that, but like they will sit with you for as long as they can until you get it. They don't want you to fall behind, and they will work with you to figure out what accommodations you need in order for you to do the best that you can. And you can really go to talk to any teacher about any issue not related to school, and you have, someone that you can trust, which is nice. I think I'm a lot more open to just new things. Um, and like I think I'm I think a lot more critically than I probably would if I hadn't had gone to Linden. I think that um, I'm not so quick to just take what someone says at face value. I think I like to try and form my own opinions about it, and I think that that's really something that Linden wants you to do. They want you to be able to think for yourself, and um, so I definitely think that I do think critically about things. I think that I am I think I'm maybe more aware about different issues than some other people who didn't go to Linden and don't follow the news as closely. And I think that they just made me feel passionate about, learning and and just I think that they made me definitely feel passionate about learning. Um, and like I said, I think without Linden, I wouldn't have gotten the foundation that I needed to pursue higher education in sciences. So I think um, that definitely shaped who I was. Um, you know, Going through high school and seeing, oh, this is really interesting to me, this concept or this this class. And I don't think that I would have found them interesting if I had gone to a public school, because I think I would have just been like, this is too hard, I don't get it. And I don't think I would have liked it. But because I was able to get extra help when I needed, they were, interesting, engaging classes. So I think that, the only thing is that it is a small school. So I think that um, if you are doing things outside of the school, like, oh, maybe you go to dance class, or maybe you have friends from a camp that you go to in the summer, or even if you really just, have friends from your elementary school or your middle school or whatever. The thing for me was that I didn't really keep in touch with any of my friends from elementary school, and the people that I knew outside of Linden, for the most part, lived pretty far from me. So I definitely felt that my circle of friends was pretty small. And there's definitely times where I wished I had a few more friends in high school. I think that if you're going to Linden and you have another thing where you're socializing, I think that you're probably pretty well off in that regard. But if not, sometimes just depending on how many people in your class, you might feel like maybe there's just a few too people. But so I think that Linden could try to do more to maybe engage other schools, just so that the people who attend Linden feel like they have a broader network of people at their disposal. I'm not really sure. I mean, I definitely think that since leaving it, you kind of I guess form I mean, I don't really think that my perspective on the school has changed really dramatically. I think that, once you leave, you forget all of the petty little nitty-gritty things, that consume your everyday life and make you annoyed, like, oh, this group project is so annoying, or this or that or whatever. But I think overall, I do look back fondly, and I am very grateful for the education that I got. So I think, like, one of the things about Linden, even though the teachers will sit with you and give you extra help if you need it, you still have to advocate for yourself. And I think that, that's a big thing about Linden. They want you to be able to use your voice and advocate for yourself and advocate for others around you too. So yes, the teachers will give you help, but only if you're going to be able to ask them for the help and advocate for yourself for what you need. So, when I went to my first year of university, I would ask questions for my friends in, our 700-person lecture hall, because they didn't want to, they were nervous. But for me, I was just like, okay, yeah, there's a few more people than I'm used to, but I'm supposed to advocate for myself when I need help, so that's what I'm gonna do. So again, the individualized attention and just the care that all the teachers have for you. I would also say, for the, I guess, values that Linden instills in all of their students regarding, advocating for yourself and advocating for others and speaking up and using your voice. I think that it's a great skill that they really are asking you to use all the time. And after I graduated, I'm still using it all the time, so I'm very grateful for that. And then I guess my third would be the community. I think that it's a really good community and a really good environment for kids to be in, especially in that period of your life where you just feel so weird. And I think it's a great place to be when you're figuring out who you are, because there's a lot of people and resources that are really there to guide you on that journey, as well as there's just so much to do, even though it's a small school and their resources may be limited in comparison to other schools that have 10 times the amount of students. I think that they really make the most of it, and they really go above and beyond, just trying to provide as many opportunities for all of their students as they can. So I would definitely say that that's another great reason to go to Linden. I don't know. I guess there's so many things that you could point out. I mean, you could point out how in all of our school portraits that are hanging on the walls, you can literally see the students grow up, and you can point out there they are in grade 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and grade 12. You can really show them how much the teachers care when you step into their classrooms, and you can really see all of the effort that they're making to provide just a learning space for the students, but also just going above and beyond in terms of resources and books and things like that that they have. And I don't know, I think I would just try to make them feel aware of the community that they would be in, they would be introducing their child into. And I think, you know, it's hard to sometimes describe it, but I think that when you feel that, you feel the, I guess, the atmosphere of Linden, and you see kind of how much everybody cares. It's 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 very, it's great. Yeah. I would say, well, I'd say good luck. I hope you enjoy it. I would say, um, don't be shy to speak up, and tell and as soon as you can, just try and talk to your teachers, and tell them a little bit about yourself, and tell them where you think you might need help, and try and talk to the people in your class, and try and get to know them, and build those friendships. But you don't be too worried if it doesn't happen right away. Things take time, but just uh try and make the most out of this opportunity, because I think that there's really a lot that you can gain from Linden. So I guess try your best to maximize it.
For more information about this school, you can visit their profile at ourkids.net.